All right, I'm going to do a quick rundown on Tesla by request. My homie Jay Trader requested it, man. And by the way, he's quite the small cap trader. If you're into that kind of stuff, go visit him. Jay Trader on Twitter. But anyway, he asked me, he wanted to know my take on this. Well, okay, so those of you that know me, you know I have a model that I calculate. I built it for SPX. It works on everything. What does that mean? This is where the bots trade. I've written enough programs now to where I understand where the bulk of the models around quant trading, bot trading, institution trading trades, okay? I'm going to get in the mind of this and how it's going to work. Well, let me show you. We opened this morning right here at this 833.79. That's my calculated price, okay? That's my calculated best price. What does that mean? We pulled down to 833.88. Mine was 79. I missed it by like 10 cents, okay? And it straight ripped. What does this mean? You see this up here? It's not even getting close to overextended until it hits this in a day. You think that's insane? Maybe. Maybe, but it did yesterday and it didn't even hit here. So this right here, this 953.25, that's the high of the day. Okay, that's my expected high of the day today. What did we hit? 940.13. That's my expected high of the day. How do the bots work? Well, it gets up in this area today, and they're going to stop buying because it becomes higher risk. If it breaks out and it closes over this, you can see some more accelerated buying up here, no doubt about it. But this right here, as long as we're under this every day, I'm recalculating these. As long as we're over this right here, it's going to keep going. So why is shorting this crap is a loser's game? Why is that? I mean, at some point, every day, the steeper this gets, at some point, sure, is it going to be a good short? Sure, it's going to get a pullback. But at some point, every day, the calculations make this to where it can go higher and higher and higher. This calculated level right here gets higher every single day. It gets higher. The difference between this and this is $100 today. It gets higher and higher every day the steeper this climbs, right? And at some point it's going to get a pullback. But think about this, even if it gets a 50% pullback, it's still going to be through the roof. Why not be long? All I'm interested is low risk entries for the long, and that's what this model does for me. You see this calculation right here? This is a low risk entry for the long. And what did we do? We traded up almost to my high of the day. These are really high momentum targets up here. Okay, I don't ever expect these to get hit. It's got to break this day high first. It's got to break this 953.25. The only way I'm touching this up here is if we break and close, hourly over 953.25. We just can't do it, and we haven't seen it. It's traded this model all the way up, and there's nothing different about it today. It's just going to keep trading this model, and it'll trade it on the way back down, and I'll calculate the short side, and it'll pull back to certain numbers. All I'm looking for in Tesla is a low risk entry for the long side. Now, let me back up and just say that I'm not recommending anybody trade this. It's not a good trader. If you don't have experience and you're not profitable, stay the freak away from it. Get rid of the FOMO. Stop worrying about it. There's 1,000 other stocks and there's 4,000 other stocks that move in this market. Just because this thing's ripping all of a sudden you want to trade it? No, man. I mean, look, we were getting long. So let me just back up and say 402, if you weren't long at 320, okay, when I was recommending to get long, if you weren't long at 320, 402 right here in this area right here was the buy, okay? I had plans to buy option contracts. I haven't traded it since 402, okay? I haven't traded it since here because I missed my entry. I was trading other stuff. There's the entry, and this thing has straight ripped. But I bring this up on a daily basis to talk about it because look at how it calculates around, look at how it trades around the calculated levels. If you're looking for a low risk entry, I can show you that, right? But I'm not going to show you for free on this video. I'm just showing you that these things are just doing exactly what I expect it to do based on the model that I calculate every single day. So that's what I think. That's my take on it. It's not overextended. And let me explain why I say that. There's no such thing as overextended in this market as long as it's trading around this model. And I'll show you an SPX example. Let me pause this and I'll bring up SPX. Wait a second though. Before I do, I just had a thought. I want to make sure and share this because if this thing breaks this right here, this calculated high of the day, if it breaks this right here, all of this up in here becomes really high risk. The bots calculate on candle closes, okay? So this is a daily calculation. I can calculate these and it does it in my TradeStation programming. It calculates them on the close of 5-minute candles, on the close of 15s, on the close of 30, whatever I want it to calculate on, okay? It'll do it. If right now, these are daily closes. I'm trying to show you what I think on a daily basis. But let me explain why shorting this is a losing game. Because the bots, every time in hour closes, they recalculate this. And now this was a high risk. It recalculates 60 minutes later, and now this line right here is right here, and this is up here. It's no longer high risk. You know, they can get a pullback to here, and then they are allowed to buy again. The bots can buy again. Every hour they calculate. The more it does this, the wider this range becomes, okay? The only thing that stops them from buying is when this right here, the angle of this becomes too great, it becomes too high a risk. So until that happens, make no mistake, the bots are buying this until that's the only definition of overextended, is when the angle gets too much. And I'm not even going to tell you what that is. I'm just saying if you don't understand it, then maybe you can kind of come join and I'll share some of that with you. But if it's ringing a bell for you, gold miners, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, this thing is going to keep on going. The pullback's not going to happen until that angle is reached. All right, let me talk a little bit about SPX. It's kind of the same thing, and then I'm out of here. Here we go. What did I say yesterday? You guys watched, any of you that watched my YouTube video yesterday? I like it short. If it comes up here and rejects, like yesterday, I had the puts. If it comes up and rejects, when do I like it long? As soon as we get back over 63, right? Once we get back over 63, I like it long. We're over the calculated level. Look at what it did. It broke it, came up, and hit my next calculation here, pulled back, boom. And yes, we are long. We are long this thing. I've already made a total of like 7 points on SPX calls alone. So when I say there's no such thing as overextended in the market, this is what I'm talking about, okay? All I'm saying to you is, when I say that, is this is what I'm saying. Let me pull up SPX. Sorry, it takes a second here. This is what I mean by that, is it's trading around this model, okay? It's trading around the model. The quants trade around the model. The institutions trade around the model. This pullback right here is nothing more than a dip buy, okay? If the dip gets bought, what happens? Boom, it's going to break new highs. When does this get broken? When we start trading under this area right here. We start getting into territory where, the bots and the bulls are not quite as in control as they were, okay? Until that happens, this is just the best dip buys, period, right? And that's what we're seeing right here. Boom, boom. The odds are we're going to break new highs here. It won't be today, but I'm saying the odds are we're going to break new highs here. What will stop that? A catalyst. A good, hard, negative catalyst can stop that. We may not break highs. If we don't have a catalyst for people to sell into the bots are just going to drive this higher. They trade around the model. There's no such thing as overextended. It's just going to keep trading around this model. Boom, 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 and it'll do it for 100 years. And how do I know? Because I've back-tested this 100 years. I've back-tested it 100 years. It traded around this model even before computers were around. So make no mistake, I am 100% convinced. I've been trading this model for a couple of years, and down in here is a moneymaker. And now that we're over here, now that we're all-time high, so how do you know what do you trade on blue skies? Right there. I can tell you right here, this thing, if it breaks highs, it's going to come up and test 33.74. That's as high as it's going to go in a week. How do I know that? How do I know? If we hit this 33.74 this week, you're going to say I'm crazy. And if we do break new highs and we hit it this week, because we've done it over and over and over. We did it here. 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 Over and over and over. We come up, we hit this calculated level high, we pull back, usually back into here. Sometimes we dip. If we dip under that, we come back to here. We've only hit this one time in this whole move since we started, okay? So everything trades around the model. I built it for SPX, but it works on everything. So this is what I'm talking about, is that Tesla trade we were just talking about, Tesla was just talking about. Look at where it's at right now. Don't be surprised at all to see this thing close up around 953.25. And if it closes over that, we're going to get an accelerated move again tomorrow. So I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, that's my take on it. You asked for it. I told you for what it's worth. There it is. Peace.